Hello, I forget what I called myself today. So here's the daily reflections from that guy. Still same shirt, same chair. I didn't even get up. This is part 2 of the October 7th daily reflection reading. Must I read the whole thing again? Why not? Daily monitoring. Continue to take personal inventory. That's from the 12 Steps, 12 Traditions book, page 88. The spiritual axiom referred to in the 10th step. Every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us. Also tells me that there are no exceptions to it. No matter how unreasonable others may seem, I am responsible for not reacting negatively. Regardless of what is happening around me, I will always have the prerogative and the responsibility of choosing what happens within me. I am the creator of my own reality. When I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. Whoever is upsetting me most is my best teacher. I have much to learn from him or her, and in my heart I should thank that person. Period. The end of the reading. I got off on this thing in part 1 that I discovered that same type of thing. That when I'm judging somebody else, that's because it's a reflection of me, of my behaviors that maybe I dislike or need to change. That's why they're so familiar looking to me. Yet all I do is criticize and judge this person. I should thank that person. Maybe on the inside only. Not get involved with this other person. And I go a step further, and I should pray for that person that they're able to overcome those difficulties. The things that I picked up on so easily. Because when I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. And then that led me into some other stuff. That's from that book, Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's by 3 separate authors. I should have went and got that and showed it to you, but I'm not doing that today. It's a helpful book. I don't know what it has. It's not an AA approved piece of literature, I would think. Step 10 from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. It happened upon me today that although all inventories are alike in principle, the time factor does distinguish one from another. There's a spot check inventory. This is all in part 1. I read this. There's the one we take at the day end. Then there are the occasions when alone or in the company of someone else, maybe a deeper inventory than a spot check, or the one at the day's end occur. 3 different levels, 3 different time periods. Anyhow, what I keyed in on, although all inventories are alike in principle. Maybe they mean just looking for flaws. What I did is I thought, there's only so many things wrong with humans. It isn't that exhaustive of a list. And a lot of things just stem from the same one thing, like dishonesty, and I said a bunch of stuff about that in part 1, that dishonesty can be the root of many different problem areas in your life. Now, where was I here? Why I decided to do part 2. That was a recap. I think it's because I did. I came up to here, although all inventories are alike in principle. That got me thinking that there aren't that many things that go wrong with a human. And then I said, It's not like thousands. I mean, like emotionally or whatever. In the context of trying to recover from alcoholism and alcoholic, this moral inventory in step 4. That's where let's go back to that up here. We did this fearless and searching moral inventory. And that's all we did. Step 4. Then we did step 5, 6, 7. And then we did step 8. We made another list of people we had harmed. ... And then, Anne became willing to correct this. And then step 9. With the exception of hurting people, we tried to make these wrongs right. We tried to repair the damage. We tried to effect and repair. I still haven't hit the right language yet. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. That's step 9. Now, step 10. 10th month, October, 10th month, 10th step. Continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So we're doing either a spot check, the end of the day, or a once a year inventory. And we discover that they're all alike in principle. And I'm expanding upon that to say that between alcoholics all trying to reach sobriety, and then how to operate more steadily in sobriety without needing to get drunk every day, every month, or whatever it is, do things. We go to meetings, we don't go to meetings, we do whatever. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous are helpful if you're trying to get and stay sober. Step 10 of those 12 steps, we do this inventory thing. Continually. Whether that's once a year, once a day, 4 times a day, that's up to you. It just says continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. In today's reading for October 7th, it said that daily monitoring. Say we're doing this every day. The spiritual axiom referred to in the 10th step: every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there is something wrong with us, with me. This is on me. Whatever's happening out there, if I become disturbed, that's because of me. Also tells me that there are no exceptions. That means it's always that way, apparently, no matter how unreasonable others may seem. I am responsible for not reacting negatively. Regardless of what is happening around me, I will always have the prerogative or the choice of a select group of people, or the right, and the responsibility of choosing what happens within me. For me, I don't want to get all bent out of shape and start drinking alcohol again, because that will kill me, likely that time. I am the creator of my own reality. When I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. Let me stop right there, because this is where I got all tangled up before, and I said I read this book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. 3 separate authors wrote that at the same time, I'm gathering, and I think maybe one is a PhD, so... And it's a book about meditation, self-awareness, and Zen, I guess. It's a very helpful book. I don't think it's AA-approved literature. However, it does no harm, though, I think, to read these things. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. In that book, that's where I first stumbled upon this idea that when we pick out a fault of someone else's, the reason that's on our radar is because that's a fault of ours also. And we can see how stupid maybe it is, and then it gets us all upset because we know that's what's wrong with us, and we should be fixing ourselves, trying to fix ourselves. I'll just leave it at that. So, what do? Well, number one, you should maybe thank this. I don't know if this means personally go thank this person. I think not. You just in your head say a prayer for this person. I hope you get better, because you just look stupid doing that thing that way. And I hope you can find the correct way to do it. The way I would do it, say. Which hasn't worked for 100 years, and I'm going to keep... So, man, I am a long-winded guy sometimes. When I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. If I judge others, I am probably judging myself. Whoever is upsetting me most is my best teacher. Listen to that. Whoever is upsetting me most is my best teacher. And just say today, for the rest of today, if you become, like it said in the opening statements here, or lines, every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there's something wrong with me. Those are my words. That's because, well, what I just said. I'll leave it there. Nothing. Every time we are disturbed, no matter what the cause, there's something wrong with us. Also tells me there are no exceptions. That always happens. No matter how unreasonable others are, I'm responsible for not reacting negatively. Regardless of what's happening around me, I have the right and the responsibility of choosing what happens within me. I am the creator of my own reality. When I take my daily inventory, I know that I must stop judging others. Okay, so this is where we're at. Now, awareness happens. You see this behavior, and now maybe for the rest of today you're going to find out or think or look, maybe that's what's wrong with me, because that I really picked up on that, and it's really aggravating me. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. Let's take a look. And then that's why I picked up this book, The 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Although all inventories are alike in principle, I mentioned this thing, loopholes and cheating. That's why I started part 2. I'm human. Humans are typically some common characteristics among humans. Lazy, greedy. There's 2. Let's just stop with that. There's maybe 4 or 5 more. That I read that somewhere. That like 7 common personality traits of human beings, something like that. And I haven't been able to find it again. I don't know. Maybe I dreamt it. Anyhow, greed. I want more of a good thing. It kind of seems innocent enough. And then lazy. I don't want to expend all my energy in this one endeavor. I got other stuff to do today, say. So I'm going to look for the easiest way to do it. With the least friction. The least struggle. And I said, that can be helpful in some areas of life. And then I quit. Ended part 1. Started part 2. Now, there's a lot of things where taking shortcuts is a bad idea. Just the entire topic of safety. If you're going to do something that might be risky because other people have gotten harmed doing it before you, and there's a big sign or pamphlet, is AA for me, or if there's one of these things, a stop sign, a red octagon on the side of the street in the United States of America, at least, says stop. So if you're about to engage in something that you think might be risky, and you see a sign that's actually posted right there. Stop. Well, stop and think. So this is this thing that I should stop judging others because I'm probably judging myself. Well, I've already got an issue with that. You should continue observing others, and then if you end up judging and criticizing, stop and take a look at yourself and go, wow, that's probably because I'm that same way too. Thank you, mysterious stranger, and I hope you get over that. I hope I can get over it, because now you're aware that maybe there's some flaw, and now we're at this daily inventory thing. What's it coming from? Why am I flawed in that way? Is it because I'm dishonest? Or is it because I'm lazy, like I'm talking about here? So you're gonna do something, and because you're human, you might be greedy and you might be lazy. Me, I'm lazy. I look for loopholes. I don't want to spend all my energy in this one thing, and I want to spread my energy out like that and do more things. Except for then more things get done in a poor fashion probably. So I said, in the matter of something like in the field of safety, that's a really poor choice of somewhere to take shortcuts. Especially when you can see that there's a sign posted that this is stupid, dangerous, and whatever. You should at least have a helmet on. And then, it's up to you. Are you going to wear a helmet or not? Okay, so I'm going to stop with that. Once you know okay, so loopholes. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because of laziness. Maybe whatever you're dealing with, maybe whatever I'm dealing with today, isn't the place to try and be slippery or taking shortcuts, jumping over the fence where it's lowest, cheating, trying to make it easier. I'm just saying, maybe I need to really take a better look at things. So this daily inventory thing, I think one of the reasons I brought up all this stuff about common characteristics of human beings, two of them being greed and laziness, is because, why? Oh, we take a daily inventory, and maybe it just seems like there's so much stuff you did wrong in one day. How could one single person do so many wrong things? Or hurtful, harmful things? With only one helpful thing? Maybe. How could, well, why I just said all this stuff that I was saying, I think one reason why is because maybe you've attached the wrong label to that behavior. And a common way of that happening for myself is there would be a common regular thing that a lot of people have, and I didn't want to accept it. A lot of times because it would just be so simple to fix. I couldn't believe I'm just missing something so obvious. It's not that. It must be this other thing. And so then I stick a different label on it and call it something else that's closely related. I might still be in that area, but I've spent years with, right this second, I can't even remember what it was. But it stemmed from one single defect of character, say, of dishonesty. And this is why I do this daily inventory. When I'm really on my game, when I don't do a daily inventory, I start to become more and more dishonest, say. And if I didn't do an inventory in a year, I might have just caused all kinds of damage. And I'm telling myself it was something else. The project must get done, so they didn't, or whatever. It was okay to lie in that one instance, a little white lie, something like that. These things, the principles of sobriety, man, that the first one is like honesty. I've written this down in one of my books. I took it off the face of a clock, and it was for each hour And each step of the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, it had like one word, except for in step 8. Brotherly love is the principle behind that step 8 thing, I think. And so in the back of this book, where it says notes, I wrote down a list. And what that says. And these are the principles. Underneath as a foundation thing of the steps and traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. And principle 1, honesty. Let's just stop there, because that's what I'm talking about. If I don't catch my dishonesty each day, it tends to grow. And then who knows what kind of damage I could cause. And then, boy, I take an inventory and it's like, wow, look at the wreckage. I really should have been looking at myself closer and trying harder, maybe. Or making sure I had the correct label on things. Instead of calling it something else. This is what got me off onto this thing. Is that I was just lying to myself about something. It's like, man, that's just straight out dishonest. That's it. You can dress it up and try it or whatever. You're just lying. It's a lie. It's a falsehood. Biblically, even, it's wrong. Okay, so careful with this stuff. I'll stop there. Thank you for coming by here. I'll get back with you later. Goodbye.